In 2001, the Horton Medical Center and Narden Hill Hospital merged and voiced plans to build a new hospital to replace the two campuses in Middletown and Goshen. 11 years ago, I met with the hospital officials as they began their site search for a new location. I briefed the Common Council in February of 2002. In an article that appeared in the Times Herald Record at the time, the next day, I outlined the city concerns about access to health care, services, and the economic impacts of the Horton closing on the city of Middletown. I remember clearly meeting with the hospital officials, laying out the city's concern for this specific location, Prospect Avenue, and what we would like to see here and not see here. The hospital officials at the time assured me that they would work very closely with the city during this transition to ensure that this beautiful neighborhood here in the city of Middletown and the impacts on the city of Middletown would be mitigated. And in fact, they assured me that we would be very happy with the end product. None of us knew what the end product would be at the time. We all agreed at the time that the best use would be to maintain some form of medical use or some form of related medical use, nursing facility of some type. Horton officials kept their word, and I want to thank them today for keeping their word to the city of Middletown. This specific project has had many starts. We have had committed developers, Tony Danza and Abraham Lesser of the Danza Lesser Group. They've put a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of years into this project, and I want to say thank you to Tony and Mr. Lesser and the Abraham Lesser Group. We had some very important players also. Dr. Alan Kadish, the President and CEO of TouroColl and the university system, along with Dr. Jay Sexter of Touro. Both very committed to making this project a success in the city of Middletown, and I want to welcome the Congressman. Thank you, sir. Mayor. Both very much committed to making this project a success in the city of Middletown. We had in play Orange Regional and other medical institutions in the area that are vital to the success of this project. And then we had what I call the hometown guy, and that was Dr. Ron Izrowski. And I'm sure Dr. Ron is here. Where is he? Oh, there he is. I've said it to him over and over, and I'm going to say it again today. This is the man with the hour-long PowerPoint that he presents in 20 minutes. When done, you understand every word he said, and after listening to it, you wanted to make this project happen. And I think that's what happened on every level, from whether dealing with the developers, dealing with Touro, the elected officials. He was relentless in our trips to Albany and the presentations to the Lieutenant Governor. Just fantastic, and Ron, we owe you a debt of gratitude here in the city of Middletown, so thank you very much. So I want to thank all the players and what you have done to accomplish this for our city, for our county, and for our region. Also, a special thank you to Maria Bruni and John Degnan for accompanying me on the several trips to Albany, and all the department heads in the city of Middletown have worked very closely with us as this project intensified over the last 18 to 24 months. Well, many years in the wishing and planning stages, this project really started to take off, I believe, in early 2011. I believe the turning point was the April 11, 2011 meeting with Lieutenant Governor Duffy. A busy man, he gave us all the time necessary to present this project. He had questions, thoughtful comments on how to move the project, and tremendous interest in making this work. Yesterday, I spoke with Lieutenant Governor Duffy, and he was elated that the state played a small role, as he said, but I think they played a major role in this project coming about. Not as major as TouroColl, Ron Izrowski, and Tony Danza, but the efforts and the time committed to this project directly by the Lieutenant Governor is very much appreciated. I, along with Maria Bruni, Dr. Izrowski, Dr. Sexter, and others, felt we made a compelling argument when we met with him about the importance of a medical school in the city of Middletown, the impacts on our region, the economic impacts, and how it will increase medical delivery services regionally, short and long term. We followed up with countless meetings with our state representatives, Senator Bonisic and Assemblywoman Gunther, and I believe both are here today. Oh, there they are. Thank you. They did a tremendous job lobbying, I think that's the correct word I can use, lobbying on our behalf up in Albany, and very much appreciated the time and effort they also put into this project. Our county executive, Ed Diana, went with us on some of the road trips when this project was in limbo. We went specifically down to Long Island, where we had a contingent from, I believe, the Orange County Chamber and Orange Regional people, And it was a worthwhile trip, opened our eyes up and had us focus, and Eddie's input and guidance on this has been tremendous, and I wanted to thank him also. The meetings continue with the Deputy Secretary of Economic Development, Lucia Eve, who was very instrumental in moving the project from one stage to another. And the Governor's Regional Representative, Amy Vargas, was also instrumental in not only giving us direction, but arranging meetings, such as meetings with the Lieutenant Governor, and giving us input on the project. And of course, the ultimate issue was the Regional Economic Development Councils created by the Governor and the money that came in into this project. And that happened in December of 2012. This project received a major shot in the arm with the announcement from the Governor's office that Touro was the recipient of a $1 million grant to make this project a reality. And that's what we were all waiting for. We were hoping that this project would be one of the projects that was identified by the REDC. We went through it twice, and we were relentless. I know Touro's people were relentless. Tony Danza's people were relentless, and answered every question and addressed every issue that was brought to them satisfactorily, apparently. And now that the city, not the city, but Touro, has received one of the regional economic development grants. And to Governor Cuomo, Lieutenant Governor Duffy, and all the state personnel, Senator Bonasic, Assemblywoman Gunther, thank you for that, because without that, I don't think this would have happened either. On December 27th, the City of Middletown Industrial Development Agency completed negotiations and unanimously approved the project and the negotiated payment in lieu of taxes. The IDA board, I know the chairman, Mr. Emilio, is here. Thank you to you and your board. You were very instrumental in bringing this about and finalizing this project after all the other approvals were in. And you should be thanked from the City of Middletown for your quick action and your volunteering on that board. And so thank you, Mr. Emilio, who's in the back here. So now we know how we got here. And the question is the medical school and what it means for the City of Middletown and for our region. I know Dr. Ozrowski will probably touch on the healthcare impacts in his comments. My focus has been the economic development component. The economic impact for our city, for our region, is huge. Year one of this project will generate 150 construction jobs. Year two, 429 faculty and administration jobs at the Middletown location. Year three, 27 jobs for hospital administration for rotation residency in the Mid-Hudson region. And year four, 344 resident doctor positions in the Mid-Hudson region. That is a total of 950 direct and indirect jobs, including construction, just from this project alone. A new medical school in our community will provide 550 students when fully operational and generate over $20 million in tuition dollars, with the economic impact on the community at approximately $55 million, including student and college effect on the local economy. The college will spend annually millions of dollars locally while training students for a career as a physician. Students will be living here, and along with their visitors, will be spending money in our restaurants, shopping, and hotels. Their students will work throughout the region in various clinics and many local hospitals. The medical school research facility will offer an opportunity for this region to attract and grow additional knowledge-based industries to the greater Middletown area, and is a tremendous addition to the biomedical corridor that is being developed and expanded in our region. I will stop there on the economic impacts. If you have, leave your email, we will send you the economic impact report. You can review it. Some might say it's boring. I think it's very exciting, but that's the kind of life I have, I guess. But it's just a tremendous thing for us, and hopefully after reading it, you will agree. As you can see, we're very excited about this project, and again, thankful to all that made it a reality. Mr. Danza, the Danza Lesser Group, Mr. Lesser, Dr. Kadish and Touro, Orange Regional, all the affiliated hospitals, Dr. Ozrowski, Senator Bonasic, Assemblywoman Gunther, Congressman Maloney. I'm sure we're going to be coming after you for some more as we go down the road. And thank you for your support, and especially the Lieutenant Governor and Governor Cuomo. So it's a tremendous job by all, and I want to now take this opportunity to formally welcome Touro College to the City of Middletown. Welcome to Dr. Kadish is the President and CEO of Touro, and he will be making some comments. Thank you.
First of all, I promise that when you return here in August of 2014 for the opening, the heat will be on. Naturally or otherwise. Thank you, Mayor DeStefano. I really appreciate it. In the interest of time and patience, I won't go through all the thank yous that the mayor went through, but I just want to add from the Touro College and University system, we really appreciate the help that everyone has provided for this project, both in terms of planning, support, encouragement, and all of you who came together to help with the $1 million grant from the New York State Economic Development Corporation. Touro College and University system offers students a wide range of academic options. We are a growing institution that includes nonprofit institutions of higher education and professional education with some 19,000 students in 33 schools located throughout the United States and throughout the world. Touro is one of the largest healthcare educational systems in the nation, educating physicians and a wide complement of other healthcare professionals. After this campus opens, we'll have over 6,000 healthcare students at Touro. We look forward to including the Touro College of Osteopathic Medicine's Middletown branch campus, which is presently in the final stages of approval, in our family of specialized institutions of medical and health science education. These institutions, including the Touro College of Osteopathic Medicine in Harlem, the new branch in Middletown, also include colleges of pharmacy in New York and California, New York Medical College in Westchester, osteopathic medical schools in Henderson, Nevada and Vallejo, California, and schools of health sciences throughout the country. Among our many growing schools, the Touro College of Osteopathic Medicine in Harlem has attained significant milestones, and I anticipate that our new Middletown campus will achieve many distinctions as well. Since its founding only 6 years ago, TouroComm in Harlem has earned accreditation from the Commission on Osteopathic Medical Education, COCA, and has exceptional performance in training people in education. TouroComm's strength in training students to become dedicated osteopathic physicians who view patients holistically is confirmed by the placement and achievements of our graduates in nationally acclaimed residency programs. Many osteopathic residencies place major emphasis on primary care, such as family medicine, internal medicine, pediatrics, and OBGYN. This year, 1 in 5 first-year medical students are enrolled in osteopathic programs that enhance the healing process and address the nation's healthcare needs. We believe that our new campus will do more than address the medical needs of the Middletown community and beyond. We set our sights high and look to further enhance patient care and expand the ability of area hospitals to recruit physicians as we establish a new medical and educational center of excellence. We plan to educate some 500 plus future physicians here in Orange County, helping to ensure that the region will have enough physicians to meet future needs. We are also looking very closely into opportunities to offer other healthcare programs that can work with physicians to meet the increasing need for primary care. As a major economic benefit to the region, we estimate that our presence in Middletown will create large numbers of new jobs, and the mayor has much better numbers on the details of that than I do, but we're planning to work together with the mayor to make sure it all happens. Moving forward in this exciting initiative, we anticipate forging new alliances and establishing many new relationships. With your support, with your trust, we will work together for the greater good of the Hudson Valley and Catskill region, improving medical education, healthcare, and making this a center of excellence known throughout the country for medical education and innovation in educating young physicians to meet the needs of our community. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Kadish. Congressman Maloney, would you like to come up and say a few words for us?
Well, thank you all for inviting me this morning. This is my first public event since being sworn in on Thursday in Orange County, and it's very nice to be with you all and to say thank you again for the trust you've placed in me. A member of my staff joked, you should say, look, you've been sworn in for a week and look at all you've accomplished in just 7 days. But even I know that in Washington they raise taking credit to an art form. The fact of the matter is you're looking at the folks who deserve credit for this. And it's so great for me to be here with Mayor DeStefano, with my partners in government, Aileen Gunther, with Senator Bonasic, with the county executive, with all of you. I think if there is something I want to be the hallmark of my service in Congress, it is very much on display here this morning, which is you see Republicans and Democrats working together. You see the private sector working with the public sector. You see the state working with a locality, with a county, with a city. This is what works. And when you look at the hundreds of jobs, 1,000 in total that the mayor just ticked off, that are going to come to this area where we need them in connection with this facility. If you realize that the healthcare sector added over 1 million jobs to the American economy during the recession, when the rest of the economy was shedding jobs, healthcare was growing to the clip of 1.2 million new jobs. And most of those jobs pay folks over $60,000 a year, which means you can raise a family, which means you can get good training. This is the kind of economy we want for Middletown and for Orange County. And when you look at the necessities of every upstate community, what do you need? You need a place where you can make a living, where you can educate your kids, and where you can get care when you get sick. And so it's not just the jobs, and it's not just the enormous economic benefits of this facility. It's what it says about this community. It says that things are happening here in Orange County. Things are happening here in Middletown. And the future is bright. And this is it has been and will remain a great place to live and work and raise a family. And we are going to have an economy that is future-oriented. And you've got terrific leadership here. And you're seeing it at this table. And so it is so wonderful for me to be able to just visit with you this morning and to just acknowledge what I think is a very special model. And the amount of work it takes. As someone who has spent a bunch of time working in Albany, I'm glad to see the folks from the IDA here. I was with the governor yesterday, as were some of these folks at the State of the State. I know how much work it takes to get something like this done. When you show up for an event like this, it seems like it all just came together. But this is the result of hours and hours and hours of work between the county and the city, folks in the legislature, in the Senate, in the Assembly, in the governor's office, in the authorities. And I just think it's fantastic. And so thank you for letting me visit with you this morning. Congratulations on an extraordinary achievement. And I look forward to working with all of you in the future.
Thank you, Congressman. You know, we've been blessed in Middletown with a great congressional representation, bipartisan over the years. First many years of Congressman Gilman, and more recently Congressman Hinchy, who was also very helpful on this project. Couldn't be here today, but we have high expectations for you as you continue to serve and as our representative for the city of Middletown. So, and thank you for being here. Next is Tony Danza. Tony is the partner and probably the lead guy and the guy that I believe started with this idea and never let it go. And so he's here today to play the role. Thanks, Tony.
I didn't think I was going to be next. I thought I was going to be last, but that's okay. It was an effort, a challenge, and finally we're there. But underneath it all is the land, is the real estate, and I don't want that to be forgotten. So what I'm going to do personally is behind you there's a center court. And that center court is going to be where the students sit and have lunch and relax when Dr. Sexter's making them study extra. And in that center court, I'm going to do 2 plaques. And the first plaque is going to be dedicated to the history of what happened on this real estate. How in 1924, the Horton family developed a school, an orphanage that became a hospital, and how for almost 88 years it survived. And the Morrison family contributed a building, and the Camello family gave a building. I don't think that history should be lost. So we're going to have one plaque that talks about the history and how it serviced this community and how people walked to work, worked here, lived here, died here, supported their families here. And then next to that, we're going to have another plaque. And that plaque is going to talk about where it's going the next 88 years. And it's going to talk about Alan Alan Kadish and Jay Sexter and Dr. Izrowski and all the help that we needed to get here, and certainly Joe DiStefano and the IDA board, all of those pieces came together to make it work. So I'm personally going to do those 2 plaques. I personally want to work with the local historic society so we could have those individual names. And maybe 88 years from now, when it goes to another transition, someone will talk about all of those names, DiStefano and the congressman and all the people that helped make it and keep this community growing. Because under it all is the real estate. And there's a lot of history here that I don't want to lose. I thank you all for coming, and I look forward to getting this to the next stage. Thank you.
Leave it to the developer to talk about the real estate, right? Next on is Dr. Ron Izrowski. And I gave you my comments before, and I truly believe that despite all of the high players in the room, the senators, the county execs, the mayors, the developers, and the Toro College, that the man that made it work was you. So get up here and get a pat on the back.
My name is Ron Izrowski. I'm Director of Medical Education at Orange Regional Medical Center, and I've been involved with this project since its inception almost 5 years ago. Bringing a medical school to our part of the Hudson Valley will have great impact on improving extremely poor health indicators, provide for educational opportunities not available in our area of the Hudson Valley, and provide economic stimulus to a local struggling economy. While the national justification for training more doctors is in part based on an increased aging population of baby boomers and a more insured populace, in our area of upstate New York, the justification is compounded by very poor health indicators, poor economics, and a lack of education and health care. Some of our health indicators in neighboring counties rival those of impoverished parts of Appalachia. The front lines in combating illness and disease is through our primary care base. New York State averages about 1 primary care doctor per 700 people. According to the Robert Johnson Foundation County Health Rankings for surrounding counties of our area, like Sullivan, the ratios in Sullivan County are 1 to about 1,700, and Greene County, 1 to over 2,000. This is over a 200% and 300% increase in the representation of primary care doctors for the population. Sullivan County has been ranked 61 out of 62 for overall health in the state of New York, and almost last in death rate, tied with the Bronx. Greene County, 52 out of 62. Columbia County, 45 out of 62. These peripheral counties that are within our region. We have been doing better in Ulster and Orange County, and that's due to the recent development of medical delivery systems with reference to expansion and development of our medical centers, large progressive multi-specialty groups, and development of a medical corridor in central Orange County with excellent clinical services. A medical school here, together with graduate residency training programs for our regional hospitals, will further increase medical delivery systems to a large geographical area, from the area of northern Rockland County to Albany, and from the Hudson River to points east of Binghamton, improving health indicators regionally, saving lives, as well as improving quality of life. To effect change and provide our community with physicians depends on training those physicians locally, where statistically we know many will stay in the area. How nice would it be if people who grow up here, train here, and stay and give back to our community? Traditionally, we in Orange County have many of our youth leaving our area for careers elsewhere. Hopefully, with a medical school and other medical education programs, we can retain and keep our brightest, most young people closer to home. Our partner in health is Touro College, who at any given time is training more medical students to become our future doctors than any school in the nation. TouroColl's academic standards are among the most stringent, with some of the highest entry exam scores for any osteopathic school in the U.S. This school will be of the highest quality. Curriculum will be progressive, even stressing maintenance and preventative medicine rather than just interventional medicine after disease occurs and costs most to society by virtue of decreased productivity and increased costs. It has been an absolute honor and privilege to work with people like Drs. Alan Kadish, Drs. Jay Sexter, Dr. Ken Steyer, as well as developer Tony Danza, Mayor DiStefano, and the administration at Orange Regional Medical Center who've been so supportive for this project. These people are truly courageous visionaries whose project here will have historical impact on our region. The impact of this project on health and educational opportunities is only equaled by its economic impact, as you've heard. Studies by Trip Umbach, an entity that evaluates medical schools, their teaching hospitals, and the economic benefit to hosting communities has shown huge transforming economic benefit from projects such as these. So, here we have an opportunity to improve health, economics, and educational opportunities in the Hudson Valley. What's better than improving health, economics, and education, making our communities healthier, wealthier, and wiser? This is the right project with the right school in the right location at the right time, and I am so honored to be a part of it. Thank you all for your support and making a medical school under TouroColl in Middletown a reality. Thank you.
Next up, needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyway. My friend Ed Diana. Eddie has put a lot of time in this, especially behind the scenes, not looking for any pats on the back. But we've been in many phone calls, and he's given me a lot of guidance on people to contact. And as I said, made the one trip down to Long Island, although he had a busy schedule, took a day off and came down and advocated for the project with us down there when it was still in a different stage. But he's been very helpful and very instrumental in this day coming about. So Ed, come on up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, Mayor, we are great friends for an awful long time. You know, one thing don't forget, this is my hometown. I was born and raised here. I have a lot of respect for this town. I owned a business here for over 30 years, my family for over 68. So I get it. I get what it is to revitalize cities. I get what it is to keep the fabric of the community together. And cities do that well. I've always said since I became the county executive that the county goes the way the cities go, because that's what really happens. The infrastructure's there. The people are there. And this, right now, a revitalized health center. We didn't know what was going to happen. And Orange Regional said they were going to do something, and they did. They kept their word. We have people going to work here, 1,000 jobs. It gets no better than that. And I can tell you, we all say it, we all believe in it. It's all about jobs. It's all about affordable jobs that people can make a living at. Not just the startup job, you've got to be able to raise a family. That's how you better your lot in life. But I can tell you, I have to thank a few very quickly, even though you've all been thanked. Certainly, Dr. Kadish, thank you for being here, having the belief for us of this city and this county, being right here. Thank you, sir, very much. I appreciate that. Mr. Sexter, thank you as well for the college. We need your help as well. Ron Ozrelski, what can I say? You know, people say I'm a little crazy. Ron makes me look calm. So I love that. But I can tell you, he does that only because of one thing. He believes in it. He has it in his heart. And that's what most people do, that believe in something. My father always said, you believe in nothing, you must believe in something, or you fall for everything. That's not going to happen. This guy's not going to fall for anything. He was a great mover. He started it all. We went to one college, we went to Touro, it didn't work out. We went to another college, that didn't work out. Now we're back with Touro, the one we thought would help and would be the best one, and they are the best one. So Ron, thank you. I appreciate everything you've done from day one. And Tony Danza, I've been friends with him an awful long time. Mr. Lesser, thank you for your ongoing commitment. You took a piece of property that, who knows what would have happened here. But really what you are going to do, like you said, history's one thing, we're in the present, but the future will be because of you and your involvement. The private sector, investing money with public money, no better than that. That's what all should happen across this nation to make it a better nation. So thank you. Scott Patulis, Orange Regional, thank you, Scott, for your leadership, the members of the board, all the leadership they have given, your belief here as well. Without you, this certainly would not happen. Senator Bonasek, what can I say, John? We go back an awful long time. You're committed, sir, you always have been, on not only this issue, issues for the entire region to make it just a little bit better. So thank you. Certainly, Aileen Gunther, Aileen, we also go back a long time. And we're great friends.
Don't tell everything.
No, I know, I can't do that, so, you know, we won't tell it all. And, but thank you for your commitment from day one as well. And certainly, Mr. Malone, we had a great discussion the other day, about 2 hours, just a private one, to see what he's going to do for the region, how we could help. He's going to be a great congressman, and certainly, like he said, it's bipartisan. These kind of issues are bipartisan. Doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, liberal, whatever you are, conservative. We must come together to make it better. And I'm sure this whole team will do just that. Joe DiStefano, what can I say? We go back a long time, too. We can't tell all the stories, Joe, either. Because,
I'm younger.
yeah, a little younger, that's right. About 10 years, right to the day, I think. But we've been awful good friends for an awful long time. Our families go back decades. But, you know, he is committed. He is a great mayor. You should leave him here all the time because he fights for the city he believes in. He was born here. I was born here. He'll die here. I'm going to die here. We understand that. But that's just fine with us because we're here for the community. So, Joe, your commitments, thank you. I can't say enough about you. Amy Vargas, thank you. I've talked to you many times, Amy. We're great friends. Thank you for the relationship with the governor's office. It was a good speech yesterday. We have to talk about details on the money, but there was a good speech, I can tell you. Dr. Hudson, best health commissioner in the state of New York, is with us today. Dr. Hudson, thank you for your leadership on all health ideas here in the county. Thank you for being here, ma'am. And certainly, Congressman, I mentioned you already. Thank you very much. But you know, welcome. TouroColl is welcome in Orange County. Welcome to the city of Middletown. We open our doors to you. We are going to help you any possible way we can. I can tell you that. We want you to be here. We want you to succeed here. That's what's important. You can start out, but you got to be here 30 and 40 years from now. So we're going to help with that success story. Economic development brings jobs. Jobs, jobs, and jobs. We're all behind that. Maureen Hallahan pushes that each and every day. Maureen, thank you. She was part of the regional council, as well as John. This was our #1 issue in this area was TouroColl from the economic development team, and it was successful. $1 million from that economic council to make it a reality. So thank you for your both hard work as well. And certainly we know what healthcare needs. Dr. Ozlowski said it, they're experts. I'm not an expert. I listen to the experts, trying to absorb everything they tell me and then move forward. We do need doctors. We do need health care in this area, in this Hudson Valley region, and this is going to provide that. We built the newest hospital in the last 20 years, Orange Regional, a great institution. Scott was the mover on that. Mr. Heimbeck was a mover, and it's a reality. No one thought that would happen. Nobody. That you would be able to build a hospital today in the most worst of economic times. So I commend them for that. Dr. Tuttlebaum, what he's doing on Crystal Run and doing in that whole medical corridor, this just expands the corridor now back to the inner cities to make them better as well. The partnerships, the collaborations between everyone will never be forgotten. I'm your county executive. I want to be here a long time, not too long, about 5 years, I guess. So, and then together, we'll make those things happen. So thanks for having me. I think it's a great, great day, not only for Middletown, the county, but the entire Hudson Valley region. Thanks for having me.
Is Amy here? Amy Vargas? We were hoping to have someone from the governor's office here today, but as you know, yesterday was the state of the state, and I mentioned that I did have a nice conversation yesterday with the lieutenant governor, who wanted to convey his congratulations to the Middletown community and to the Hudson Valley community, and and acknowledge all the hard work that was done by not only the elected officials, but all the people involved in this. And as I looked out, I saw one face that I probably saw too much, and I used to say top of the morning to him all the time, and that's Mike Sullivan. And Mike, although not on the schedule here, Mike was, I don't even know what your title was, Mike, but you were something to make sure that this project moved along at a rapid pace. And I know that maybe it was something with the Gary Foundation, and of course they have to be acknowledged, but there was something that Mike Sullivan did to make this thing work, and it was very helpful and successful. So thank you, Mike. So next is, in the spirit of bipartisanship, whenever I call Senator Bonasik's office, he knows I'm a Democrat, and I know he's a Republican. But I'll tell you what, when I call him, he doesn't care about that. If I say I got a problem, he says, well, can you be in Albany tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock? And I didn't know his day started that early. But geez. I said, John, I got a 2-hour trip, but I'll be there. So, that's the kind of senator he is, and we are very appreciative of all his efforts. So, Senator, would you like to say a few words? Thank
you. First of all, since everyone's been thanked, I won't be thanking anyone anymore. But I tell you, this celebration is more exciting to me than being at a New Year's Eve celebration at Times Square, because the significance of this is going to be far-reaching. I remember years ago when this hospital was functional, Mr. Danzer and I in a group met in a conference room, and he laid out what I thought was his wish and dream. But with the perseverance of the leadership at this table, this dream became a reality. The other thing that I'd like to mention, Joe DiStefano, John, Maria, the Common Council in Middletown, their commitment was tenacious for this project. Now, since Tony talked about what was going to happen in the center, the physical grounds, I'm going to talk about this tree, okay? This tree was half the size when Mayor DiStefano and others started lobbying for this college to be here as a medical school. And now the tree is to fruition, and so is the beginning of Touro College. So we welcome them, and I understand that we have physicians and we have professors teaching at Touro College in the city. Please stand up. Let us welcome you and say thank you for doing this. The last thing I want to say is that they talked about the creation of jobs, the spillover for economic vitality, student empowerment. But for me, in my career as a senator, it was always to strengthen healthcare in the Mid-Hudson region, to develop a process to make Mid-Hudson a center for excellence for healthcare, so everybody doesn't run down to the city. They can get all of their services here because we have quality physicians, we have tremendous healthcare providers. And this is another step in reaching that goal. Thank you.
Assemblywoman Aileen Gunther, former nurse, so she knows the medical profession quite well. I guess once a nurse, always a nurse, so I can't say former nurse. But please come on up and give your thoughts on the project. Thank you.
Congressman Sean Patrick Maloney said he had to leave. He has to go to Poughkeepsie, but He wishes all of you the best of luck, and he's sorry that he had to leave early. And yes, I am a nurse. Once a nurse, always a nurse. I just took my infection control course, and I just got my new license, so you might need me here. And just in case I get unelected next time, I always have to prepare for the future. I know, as an infectious disease person, it's emergency preparedness, so I am prepared. I truly am. There's somebody else that we have to thank that's not here today, and it's somebody that I've become close to over the last few years, and it's Alan Gary. Alan Gary really should be thanked. He actually bought the Horton campus so that Orange Regional Medical Center would be able to get the bonding and the loans that they needed to build that wonderful facility over on the other side of Middletown. So Alan Gary isn't here, but we really need to thank him, because this would not be possible today unless he was as giving as he was. So let's all give a round of applause to Alan Gary. I worked with Ron in the hospital, and he is an Energizer bunny. And I've been to ceremonies where he's received awards, and he's such an unbelievably giving person. And when he's on a mission, he completes it. And we're glad that you took this upon yourself to do this for Middletown, New York. Joe DiStefano, he's a great friend, and he's a phenomenal mayor, a phenomenal public servant, and without him, this project would not have happened. I want to thank the Lesser Group, Dr. Kadish for all the work that you do, Dr. Sexter. We've met before, Tony, and you're right, there's a lot of history here. All three of my children were born in Horton Hospital. My mother-in-law used to work back there as a pink lady. So, the Gunther family has been part of Horton for a very, very long time. So, and also Eddie Diana. Eddie is unbelievable county executive, and I know you're going to be here for a long time, and thank you for all your help. And John Bonasek, he's a great colleague in the New York State legislature, and this really is an example of how all levels of government, when we work together, anything's possible. So thanks all of you.